What's up, everybody? How's everybody today? Get rid of that here. Let's load some comments in here. How is everybody doing today? Welcome to Wonder Friends. It is 11. It is really rainy outside today. I wonder what it's like where you're at. Is it also rainy where you're at as well? So what we're going to do today is we're going to, we've been working all week on Cornelius, right? We've been doing different stuff with Cornelius because it is Unicorn Week, right? This is the last, what is going on? There we go. This is the last day of Unicorn Week. It is Sunday. Hope you guys have been having fun. As you start coming in, make sure you put your name into the comments so we can say hi to everybody. So we got Unicorn Week going on. Today is the last day that we can get to the giveaway, right? We're giving away the book, right? We have two that we're going to give away, big prizes that we're going to have that I'm going to jam into the envelope for the two winners. We're going to sign book. We'll also get a bunch of other unicorn stuff in there. Just to remind everybody who I am, my name is Jason Tharp. I am the Chief Creative Dreamer at Wonderville Studios. Basically what that means, kids, is I get paid to do whatever I want. Kind of cool job, right? I get to make up stuff and people pay me for it. I think that it's really cool. And I think that you could also grow up and do that thing that you wish that you could do right now as well. Because when I was your age, I dreamed about being able to write stories. And that's what I get paid to do. And it's pretty cool. Make sure that you guys go check out on my website, wondervillestudios.com. We have lots of PDFs to download there for you. I will be adding some new ones next week that we'll be talking about. So we'll have some new stuff to go up on there. And don't forget, we have a new show that I did, a new game, I guess. There's a video that's going to post every day or every other day. I haven't really decided for sure yet. I think it'll probably be every other day. But if you look on the Wonderville Studios page right now, it's up on there. Simple game. Share it with your friends. You can follow along, or you can just like pause and rewind the tape. Do whatever you want. It's kind of fun. And so as we've been talking all week, we've been talking about the unicorn book, about different pages, all that stuff like that. Today will be no different. Let me say hi to some friends real quick. What's up, Porter and Harper? Good to see you. Marley, what's happening? It's good to see you. Nolan, what's up, my man? I saw your cool unicorn party dance. That was pretty awesome, man. So, guys, as we are coming together to end the week, I really wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the book and what like a lot of the book meant to me. So the book is It's Okay to Be a Unicorn, right? And it's starring this guy right here, Cornelius J. Sparklesteed. Now here's what's kind of cool about the book that I don't really tell a lot of people about, but I think it's kind of important to share. So one of the things about this book is that we sometimes, people will tell us that we can't do something. Or we'll hear people say that, I don't know how you're going to do that, that's too hard. Or are you sure you want to do that? Or whatever it could be. And a lot of times people will tell us stories about like, that's too hard to do. People like, you shouldn't be able to do that. You'll hear some things like this as you grow up, and that's fine. And that's fine. It's just the way life is. Sometimes people will say things to you and they won't make sense to you. That doesn't mean you have to believe it and you have to listen to it. So the page that I want to talk about today is this one right here. And it goes like this. For the rest of the week, Cornelius made his costume for his Hoofapalooza performance. It had everything he loved, bright colors, glitter, and sparkles. While he worked on his costume, Cornelius tried not to think about all those mean things Mare and other horses always said about unicorns. Now, here's the thing about this book, is that when I was growing up, I wanted to do nothing more than tell stories and write stories and make books. I used to do it all the time, and I'd make up characters all the time and stuff like that. But I had some people that were telling me things like that I wasn't good enough to do it, that I'd never be able to do it, and it started making me think that they might be true, right? And I started to believe that. Now, I knew that I could do anything. I knew that it was possible. I believed in myself. I knew that I could, but I had a lot of people telling me that it would be too hard and I wouldn't be able to do it. And when you fast forward from when I was little all the way till I grew up, and then I was afraid to tell people that I wanted to write because I thought that I wasn't going to be able to do it. I thought maybe I wasn't good enough, and I believed a lot of those things that I heard when I was little. And what Cornelius is about that type of thing, right? I used Cornelius as kind of a version of me, right? That you are able to accomplish things, and people are going to say things, and sometimes when you start to be who you really want to be, sometimes people will say things about you or about somebody that's trying to figure out what they want to do in a way that we think that they're talking about us. And sometimes what will happen is that we will be too afraid to try something, right? And that's kind of what this book is about. This book is about being able to tell the world who you want to be. It doesn't matter what angle you come from. It doesn't matter who you are. It's about telling the world that this is what I want to be. This is me. Like, I'm being brave in the moment. We've talked all week about being brave. This is what this book represents to me. This was a version of me being brave to the world, saying like, look, I want to be a writer. I want to do this stuff. And then I took that brave and I did it. And I took action and I made things happen and I started trying. I did stuff like this, right? Talking to you daily, all these things like this, and I'm telling others what I want to do. That's the key to all of these things that you're trying to do. Remember, it goes all the way back to what we've been talking about. The cup, right? The kind you think from, not the kind you drink from. I started being kind to myself. I started understanding, why can't I do it? Why I'm unique, I'm me, why can't I? And then I started practicing. Each day I tried. I tried a different way. I would keep trying. I'd keep trying and keep trying. And guess what happens, guys? As you keep showing up and you keep trying, you get better at it. And things get a lot easier. And that's what it's all about. So anything that you guys want to do, I promise you, you can do it. Don't listen to everybody telling you can't do it, because you know you can, right? Like we talk about on the mindful part. So let's take a second. Let's do that before we get into the art. So sit up big and tall, take a big breath. You could say this out loud or to yourself. I think by now we all know what it is. You say, I am smart, I do matter, I am me, and I am super fantastic. Those little tiny reminders that you can remind yourself when you feel like maybe you can't do something are so big in your world that when you are stuck or feeling sad or all of those things like this will help you so much to get past those things. It just takes a second to remind yourself how cool you really are, and then you change what you do, right? The way you react, the action you take, or the thing that you do when you're feeling a certain way. So that's it, guys. So let's get into it. So Holly, what's going on? It's good to see you again. John, thanks for coming in. Sylvia, Vivian, what's happening, girls? It's good to see you today. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish out our Unicorn Week, this book. We've done cut paper before and stuff like that, but we did a puppet, right? If you guys remember right, we did like this guy. We did a cut paper version of it. I want to do like an actual, what would be a cut illustration, right, of Cornelius. So this would be, let's say that we were making a book and we were making like an illustration for that book, right? And this is how somebody would, if they were an illustrator that did cut paper illustrations, would make stuff. And so Macy, what's going on? Good to see you. And so like, here's a good example. I think of cut paper illustrators. I think if you think of Eric Carle, like, so think of the Hungry Caterpillar, okay? Those are cut paper. So those things are cut out of paper, right? They're painted, cut out of paper. Really, really cool illustrations. A really fun way of doing it. So that's what we're going to do today. Not necessarily at that level of something as cool as like the Hungry Caterpillar, but we're going to do what a cut paper would be. So just we need paper, markers, some like tape, glue, whatever you got around. I'm sure by now you got all your stuff. I'm going to switch over here real quick. Now this is going to be just really fun. It's going to be a little quicker because we don't have to measure a bunch of things and all that stuff like that. Let me grab So what we're gonna do is I'm going to use for my background, I have, in my color paper variety here, I have this purple color, and I'm gonna use this as my background. And if you guys have like any other colors, that's fine. You can use white, that's perfectly fine, whatever works for you. And I have this blue that I'm gonna use because I'm making like a Cornelius version, right? Set my stuff aside here, and then I have like a yellow and I have a pink, all right? And I'm going to take all these things here. Okay, and I got my white, of course. You got white paper. These are all the things that we're going to need. So we're going to start with the blue because we're going to make the body of him. And so what we're doing, if you think about it this way, is that we have inside here, we know how big the character is going to be because we need to fit it on this page. So this is like, think of your background. This is our paper. If we were going to do a book, we don't want to go past this edge. We want to go and keep everything inside here. So as you're doing it, if you have a whole piece of paper, remember you're going to put a horn there also. So we got to make sure that we're leaving space there. But I'm going to do, like, if I do the same sort of thing that I did here, I'm going to just draw a straight line up, okay? And you can use a pencil or a marker, whatever you got there. And then you're just going to make like an oval shape. You can adjust it a little bit if you want once you get it there because nobody's going to see this part at all. So I'm going to make like an oval shape that's like right there, like this shape right here. And where I stop there, I'm going to do a little half circle back this way. And I'm just going to draw a straight line down, okay? And I can make this out a little bit bigger, you know, like I said. If you want to adjust this part, this is where you do it. You can adjust it. Nobody will know because nobody will see this. So you can kind of go in there and add to a little bit or take away, whatever you want to do. It's totally up to you. And then you're going to get out your scissors, and we're going to cut this out, okay? Because remember, we're doing cut paper illustration. So just follow the line, right? You can make a fun song if you want while you're cutting this out. You can kind of be like, oh, cut. You know, whatever. I mean, like just really whatever makes you happy while you're making your cut paper stuff. I like to listen to music when I'm doing a lot of artwork. One of my favorite things to do is I put on my headphones and just listen to music. All the different kinds of music while I'm working. It's just a fun way. What kind of things do you guys like to do when you're making art? Do you like to like laugh and giggle and talk and all that stuff like that? Because that's cool too. Because sometimes just being creative opens up different parts. Right, so we have our cutout now, right? See, I said this pencil lines will be hidden. Check out what you do. Just flip it over. Boom. Nobody sees that pencil line anymore, right? So now we have that part. Take a scrap piece of your other part, right? And again, remember, if we don't have colored paper, just scribble all over another sheet and you'll be completely fine. I'm going to do that for the horn just to kind of show you guys. But just remember, we are using for the D, right? If we fold this in half, just any scrap piece of paper, and we make a capital D, this is our ears, remember? And we're just going to cut those out. The reason why we just fold the paper in half, because it just saves us from having to cut out 2 ears. Because if we fold in half, we magically make, all right, should we do the magic trick again? We wave the magic Sharpie, we say a magic word, we throw magic tape at it, and got 2 of them, right? Oh, see that? It was so excited that it flew out of my hand. That was amazing. All right. Now I can't get a hold of it. Get over here. There we go. All right. So let's see. See, we would place it like that, right? We can kind of mess with it a little bit, but don't tape it down yet. I have an idea to show you that it'll be kind of cool. So, and then I have my horn, right, that I'm going to do. Now, here's a trick that I would do if I were you. It makes everything so much easier for you. Just cut a chunk of it off, okay? Because it's a lot easier to move a little piece than it is a big piece, right? Now we know that our paper is only so high, okay? Now what I would do if I were you is if I kind of put my page right near this top of the unicorn anywhere, I would just make a little tiny line for myself. Now what this line does is it allows me to know, and if I draw a straight line across there, that I should not make my unicorn horn any taller than that. Because if I make it any taller than that, it's going to go off the page. So what I would do is just do an upside down V right there, right? Again, nobody's going to see the backside of this, so it doesn't matter if your line isn't perfect. And I would just cut right along that line, just like that, right? Boom. Now, like I told you, I'm going to show you if I don't have colored paper. This is what I'm going to do. So I just take some of my markers and I scribble. Right? Just scribble, 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 scribble. You can even do stuff like, if you want to make it kind of like a cool little different colors, just like that kind of thing. Even like if we want to put some paint on there, we can go. Now what I'm doing is I am not pushing down hard. I'm holding the marker towards the end, and when I hold it towards the end, it kind of is able to flop around a little bit, and it takes less pressure, like less pushing down on it. That will help. So now I just cut that part out, and I'm going to do the same thing. Now remember, because we need to make sure our line doesn't show up, I flip it over, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to tell myself I want it to go here, and I'm just going to draw and cut that out. Okay. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut this, and voila! Check out how cool that looks. It's almost like a little like fiery looking thing, right? It's kind of neat. So now we have that. We set those other scraps aside because we don't need them. But we do need this white paper again. We need some eyeballs. Easy. Just cut off a little piece for it. Fold it in half. Remember, like we've been talking about, draw an oval on it. Now remember, we're going to have to make sure we get 2 of them on there. So make your oval a little bit smaller so it'll fit on the front of this. The cool part is if it doesn't fit right away, you can always change it up, right? There's no set way of doing it. The magic trick, we have 2 again. We can set them to make sure that they fit, and ta-da, they do. So cool. Now we need, remember, we gotta have some teeth on here. Now here's where I'm talking about where you wait with cut paper before you put it all down. Here's the cool part, watch. I'm gonna put this underneath because we know that we want the teeth to be inside of Cornelius's mouth, right? So what I'm going to do is, remember we talked about before, we are making a parallel line. So I'm just going to draw a really light line this way, right? I'm just going to draw a line that way. Now what I do is I just cut right along that. Now, to make sure that you can't see it, cut just inside of your line, or you can cut right along it. It doesn't matter. Nobody is going to see this, okay? So I just take any piece from that, and watch this. I put it underneath, and I just move it right into place, right? Just like this. So I work on a computer when I do illustrations. So this is it's kind of similar to how I work with stuff on the computer. I know that if I put one piece of paper, if I have this yellow paper and I have this white paper and I put them over top, you can't see that yellow paper anymore. It kind of hides it. So I don't have to worry about all the stuff that's underneath there, right? Because like, let's say I want to hide all of this stuff. If I put the paper over, it's hidden, right? So you don't have to worry so much about it all showing. So it's really a kind of a really cool way of doing it, right? Now, one other thing that's kind of cool is if we have our page. Now remember before I talked about like we could put a little line down here, right? And I can make inside of this, I'm going to use, if I'm going to have my character be placed here, I'm going to lift that up. And I'm going to use this cutout that I did kind of like a stencil. You guys know what a stencil is, right? Where a thing that is where you can cut out, right? A stencil that you can cut out, you can trace around. So I have my teeth right here. You can even label if you want to make it easier for you. I can put like teeth on here so I know, because remember, we're not going to see that. So as we get these pieces set out. Now I need a tongue, right? We've talked about having a tongue. I'm going to use my purple, my marker, and I'm just going to scribble out just a little tiny bit. Don't need a lot. And cut that out. Alright. Now, all we're going to do for the tongue is we just need a little bump, right? We've talked about it before. We just need a little tiny bump inside. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that off because that's just extra for me. And I'm just going to cut this. Now, does this kind of look like what we've done for the ears, right? It's just a capital D, right? Now, again, I'm going to be able to hide this. So I'm going to set that with that. Now that we have our stack here, we're going to change, we're going to move this for a second. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but if you see here, what we did was we made a little shape right there. That little shape we know is the inside of Cornelius's mouth. So what we do is we take our black marker, okay, just like so. And I am just going to scribble around that. Now, remember where we stopped here, though. We want that line to be straight because that's going to show. The rest of it isn't. So we're going to scribble. Now, do you remember what I just said a minute ago? It doesn't matter because this is going to be covered up. Nobody's going to see you outside. The only thing that matters is that outside line right there because somebody's going to see it. Now, watch what happens when I put Cornelius back over top of that. Now we have an inside of the mouth. Now what we're doing is building stuff. Think of it like paper Legos. And now we're going to put our teeth in place, right? Get our teeth in place. And then our tongue, we just tuck that up underneath there. Also, if your fingers are too big like mine are, and I just lay that right just like that. Look at that. I think we deserve a pat on the back. Good job, guys. This is all going together really, really cool. So, check this out now. Now, this is where the Legos part comes into play, right? So we start placing things. So we can start to see how this looks, and it's starting to work, and things are starting to look cool, and things are starting to build, and the magic is getting exciting, and all that stuff like that. So you could place all this stuff just like this for yourself so you can start to see how it builds, right? And have you guys noticed now how it's starting to look like our character, right? Now that you got this, all you need is to start taping it down. This is where if I had a glue stick, it would look really cool because then I could really, really make it look cool. But I don't have one, so it's kind of hard to do, but I'm going to roll some tape. And all I do is just lift up those two pieces, right? And just put a piece of tape underneath it. And then, ta-da, it's down, right? And I do that a couple times. If you have glue stick, it's even better because you can just roll your glue stick underneath it. Or you could just tape it right on top of it. It doesn't matter. This is your piece of art, and you can make it any way that you want to make it because it's yours, and that's the cool part, is that you get to make it because you are the artist of this thing, not me. It is you doing it, but I'm just trying to help kind of show you a little bit of the ways to do it, and that's cool. And there is absolutely no right answer to this. It is whatever you want it to be. That is the coolest part. Now look, now those pieces are stuck there, right? I can even push those things off there, and I can put some bigger pieces of tape going like right here, and tape it down, okay? And then I'm going to put another one, just roll it, This is where glue stick, like I said, comes in super duper handy. And put it down there. Super simple. You give it the patented like smash down, which makes it work. And then we're just going to tape the other pieces on there, just like so. And then we're almost done with this guy. So I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna put it down there. I'm gonna put it right there, maybe. Put it down right there. So if I do this, I do this, and I know where they go, right? We can do tape just right on top of it. Could be super easy to do also. It's really up to you guys. Whatever makes it easiest for you is what I want you guys to do. There is no right or wrong way to tape this stuff down. It's just whatever you're comfortable with, whatever makes it easy for you. That's my goal in this whole process. And again, I know that this might be going kind of fast, but you can totally go back and rewatch this stuff and change things and add things and all that cool stuff. This just project can kind of be any way that you want to make it. That's the beauty of this little unicorn project, is that you are the maker of it. However you want to do it is up to you. That's the way all the projects that we've been doing on here is. I hope that you guys are learning that really what the goal of it all is I'm just trying to help you create your version of these projects. There's no like right answer to any of them. Each one of our projects are going to look different from each other, and that's the whole goal. That's the point of the whole thing, and that's what gets me so excited. So now I have all that, right? So check it out. Like, can you see it? Kind of starting to come together. Super simple. Now, I got the main, right? Easy. We've talked about it before. I'm going to use this part to go underneath there. All I'm going to do is I'm going to make some shapes. You do any shapes that you want. Let me show you a couple tricks that you can do. I'm going to cut this out real fast so you can see. So I'm going to just go here, here, one more, and one more. Okay, that's mine. Okay, now let's say you have a different idea. Check this out. You can just take one square and you can make some lines, and you can cut some lines down through here. Uh-oh, cut it off. Uh-oh. Don't go too far like I just did. So don't cut all the way to the edge, okay? So what you end up with is like this kind of thing, like this, right? So the paper's like this. Now, watch this. If I take my marker and I roll it on that paper, right? And I roll it a little bit, a couple more times, and I get it tight on there. Look what happens. It starts to stick up different ways. I could also make the main like that, right? And it could be sticking up different ways. And that's also cool. I could take this thing and I could bend a little bit of it this way. And when it gets taped down, some of it will stick out. It's up to you. Like, it doesn't matter. You can do it any way you want. I'm just going to put a piece of tape right here on this edge. I'm going to lift up this part, and I'm just going to put it right underneath there, just like that. Now look how cool it is. Now that we have this part, right? Now, we're just going to put the final details on here, and then we are going to be done with this project. So here's how this works. Eyeballs. All we're doing, take your marker. It's so much easier just to use a marker at this point, and put in these little things just like this, right? Now all of a sudden, can you see a face there? Can you really see like an emotion, right? And we put some eyebrows. You can do them just like this, right? You can do some squares. You could put some eyelashes on him. Do any kind of thing you want. Teeth lines, same thing. All they are up and down lines that are going down those teeth that you made, right? We have those big horse nostrils. All they are is, we've talked about it before, it's a half circle colored in. And it's another one right beside it, colored in. Okay? And then the last few things he does is he's got a little thingy right here. And we have on his stomach, he has like a little thing just like that. And there's always the magic sprinkles that are going around his horn. And that's it, guys. That's as simple as that. Put your name on it. Everybody knows who made it. It's all these little things like this that you can take something that wouldn't like necessarily look like anything. Paper. Who would have thought paper, that if you cut it out, you can make something like this. This is the stuff that when I was a kid was so amazing to me, that you learned how to see things not for what they are, but for what they could be, right? To use your imagination, your creativity, to make a world that you want to see. That is magic. That is you. That is what makes you magical, is because whatever it is that you made of this, you made it, not me. Like, that's the coolest part to me, is that like whatever you come up with, you did that. All you did was follow along with what I did. I gave you an idea, but you brought the magic to the table. I want to thank you for bringing that magic with me and having some time with me today. That was pretty cool. I thought that was neat. Like I wasn't expecting it to actually turn out that well, if I'm being honest. Like I just thought that like I'm gonna cut some paper and see if I could do that. I haven't made a paper illustration myself in a really long time, so that was a lot of fun. So the wonder work today would be just simple, right? We already know what it's gonna be. I want you just to put in your Cornelius that you made. Let me see your cut unicorns. Let's check them out. I want to see them. If you feel like doing a unicorn dance party while you're showing them, like if you want to just grab yours and just be like, yo, yo, and just dance with it in the post, that's great too. I'm all down with all of that. I love the fact that we can make stuff, that you are able to use your brain to bring your creativity to it and just make something that's really cool. Which brings me to the wonder word of the day, which is awesome. As in, you are awesome. You guys are special. You guys are unique. You guys are totally awesome. I love the fact that you can take all this stuff in and you can make something. That's what's so cool about being an artist. That's what's so cool about being creative, is that you can make anything into something kind of cool just because you made it. That's neat, right? You're the only one that can do that same thing that you made. So I want to catch up with everybody here. What's up, Desiree? Good to see you. Joe, what is going on? Is it Joe from England, or is it Joe England? It's good to see you there. And Holly, cool. I'm glad you guys had fun with this. This is what it's all about. So guys, make sure you do me a favor. Share this stuff, right? I really need your help in sharing this. Post it in some PTO groups. You got other mom groups that you're in. You got other friend groups you're in, all this stuff like that. I need your help sharing it. Let other people know that we're doing this stuff. This is a completely free thing. I don't want any information from anybody else, stuff like that. I just want to connect with kids, let them know that they're part of something kind of cool and different, all that stuff like that. Next week, we start a whole new week, right? And we're going to be talking about things called emotions next week. We're going to talk a little bit about all the different feelings we're feeling and all that stuff like that. We have a new PDF that's coming that's going to be really cool for you guys to download. It's like a little time capsule kind of thing. And then, so we're going to need the first day, tomorrow, we just need tomorrow's supplies. We're just going to need marker and paper. That's it. We're just going to keep it really simple like we always do. Start out very simple. You can always check out, if you want some more drawing videos, Wonderville Studios on YouTube. There's lots of stuff there. As always, the books. There's the books, right? Check out. Available on Amazon. You can check them out there. Go to my website, please. I'm begging you, take my free stuff. Go to my website, Wonderville Studios. Download those PDFs. Have fun with them. They are there for you to use to entertain yourselves, right? Joe from England and George, what's going on, guys? Good to see you. Hope everything's going well over there. So just remember, guys, all this stuff is here for you to check out. Like, do me a huge, huge favor. Share this stuff. I need your help. Share it, share it, share it. We got Easter coming up. My Easter request for you to put in my Easter basket is that you share this stuff with your friends. It takes 2 seconds. Let other people know that we're doing. Make sure you check out Dice Doodles too. It's a really, really fun thing that you guys can do. I think that you'll really like it. It's in the video section as well. So just remember, guys, as we close out what has been, in my opinion, an awesome Unicorn Week, just remember that the key to happiness is embracing your unicorniness. You can make things, you can do things, you can be things. You get to bring the magic into the world that you want to bring. Just because we can't get outside right now and do all kinds of stuff doesn't mean that you don't have the ability to sprinkle your magic on somebody else's day just by being you. You can always send a text. You can send a picture. You can post something in his comments. You can do all kinds of things. Leave a note out for your mailman. Anything that you can think of to sprinkle a little bit of your magic on somebody else's day, because you are totally awesome. And I will see you tomorrow at 11. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.